Our project is based on a simulation model which projects the real world with entities and its environment like roads and buildings. Before our project, we already had a model that was set up to allow users to use drones to pick up and bring robots from their locations to their destinations. But now we've kind of added a new feature that allows the user to add basketballs with a click of a button and move them from their random locations and bring it to the nearest hoop. What happens is our model takes priority with robots and takes them to their destinations. And after that comes the basketballs, and that's where it just brings them to their nearest hoop. The reason we decided to add this new basketball and hoop feature is because we thought it would be interesting to simulate the real world transportation system and just kind of model like what it looks like in the real world when there's priority vehicles and transports. For example, there's like light rails that come before cars, and you see in the stop signs, not the stop signs, but the lights, the light rails come first, and then after cars are allowed to pass. The updated model best simulates it with robots coming first and basketballs after.
Uh, so the design pattern that we chose was the sashimi design pattern, and we chose it because we were under a we wanted to get the work done within a time constraint, and we decided that overlapping phases was the best idea to go because we would have one person work over like designing the diagram for our methods and classes, and we'd have the other group members basically work on the code based off the diagram. And what we planned was we would meet with the client, which is in this case the teachers and the TAs, that the person at the top, the person at the first phase who was working on a diagram would meet up with the TA's advisors and get their feedback on what to change and what not to change. And based off of that, the person who was working on a diagram would relay their message to the person who was working on the code. And that way, since the people who are working on the code are not like, they're not done with their phase yet, like it'll be a lot easier for them to make their changes while they're still finishing up on their phase. And that would save us a lot of time. And basically, that is why we chose to use the sashimi model for our design pattern.
All right, and next I'm going to be showing you guys a demo of our simulation. So I'm going to share my screen first. First, you have to go on your personal computer's terminal and log in to any port. And once that's done, you go to the correct directory that has the project. And then first you run make clean, then you run make j, make dash j. And then you'll run this line of code. And then according to the instructions, we go to this link first. And then we'll watch the drone. And now, since there is a basketball that spawns in right when the simulation starts, the drone is moving towards this basketball. And while it's doing that, we're going to go to the next link. And first, we're going to add a basketball to the simulation. Then we're going to add our first robot 1. And it's going to be using the A-star strategy. And it will just go across the bridge. Schedule it, and then watch the drone. And as it goes to the first basketball, it will pick it up, bring it to its destination, which is the hoop. And then once it gets there, it's going to do a simulation. Celebration, I mean. And now the drone is going to the first robot that was placed. Even though we added the basketball first, it's still going to the robot because robots have precedence over basketballs. And now it's going to pick up this robot, move it across the bridge. And then once it gets to the end, it's going to do a celebration as well. The A-star strategy has a spin celebration. So once it gets to the destination, both entities are going to be spinning.
Yep, and what do you call it? For the basketballs, they have a beeline strategy, which makes the drone go directly to the hoop, and like when it picks up the basketball, it goes directly to the basketball, and when it has the basketball, it goes directly to the hoop, and it does a spin and jump celebration.
And then when it's done with that, it's going to the next basketball that we added. Bringing it, and then it does a celebration. And as you can see, we can still add basketballs to the simulation, and it will continue to run. Now this drone is picking up this next basketball. And that's our simulation.